Uh, Everyone, thank you very much for coming out to listen to my speech tonight. Tonight, my speech is based on the motivational strategies pathways path, and I'd like to tell you some very interesting things. Have you ever watched the 18 TV series or the movie from about 3 or 4 years ago? I love watching that show, and there's a scene from Hannibal, the main character. I love it when the plan comes together. Well, guess what? Hmm. Apparently today, my plans didn't quite work out the way I expected them to. Imagine, make a plan to get up in the morning, try to get ready for work, drop the neighbor off at work, and then after you drop your neighbor off, you go, wait a minute now. I think I better turn back and go back home and hit the restroom real quick because there's a slight problem. For breakfast, I had ate some dinner for breakfast, and I loaded it down with hot sauce, so I had to go do an emergency trip back home and went to sleep for a few hours. Then my coworker called me up and I had to go help her out because her day didn't work out quite the way it wanted to also. So the strategy of having a plan and it falling through the way you want it to every day, not quite the way you'd like for it to be. A few minutes ago, I was just driving along the road and I passed 2 to 3 different car accidents. Now, there's some fire trucks, police officers out at two of the ones I saw, and hopefully no one got hurt. So another strategy I have is try to drive slower and hopefully hit out earlier next time. First, let me start by mentioning one of my favorite people I like to hear stories about is a person named John Maxwell. He's a leadership guru who knows a lot about leadership and how to get people motivated. He has the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership, and there is one main one that I particularly enjoy. That one is the law of empowerment, in which you encourage the people under you to do the best they can by giving them the power to accomplish the tasks and goals that they set for themselves and hopefully accomplish the goal that you set for them. And hopefully you actually use motivation to encourage the person to accomplish the task. But before we get deeper into motivation, let me mention one quick thing to you. Raise your hand if you ever heard of a person named Jim Markwood, who's one of our, no, not Jim Mark, but Jim Markwood, and he's a member of Actors who tells great stories about a mule. Now, a mule, you can take him over the water and you can't make him drink. You can't motivate a mule, you're going to just wait for him. Now, raise your hand if you know Jim Howard, who's a former member of this club. Now, Jim Howard is one of my favorite people because, hey, we used to joke about USC and Clemson, and he used to have some pretty good jokes about Clemson. And I would laugh at with him, and I maybe wouldn't say too much bad about USC because it speaks for itself. Well, I just say that joke because he's that here with us right now. But just remember, there's one important thing that he told me, and it was very interesting. Potentially, you can't motivate people; you can only inspire them to do something. Now, hopefully, that statement is partially true because if you can't motivate people, that makes your job as a leader very difficult. And it's challenging to motivate highly motivated people. Now, I noticed something very interesting. I would say that each of you are very motivated because you actually came out to the meeting tonight, and the fact that you actually joined the Toastmasters Club means you're highly motivated. So to motivate someone that's highly motivated is a challenging thing. That's why I like the law of empowerment. If I allow you to use your skills to the best of your ability to do the part that you feel that you contribute to whatever task you want to do, I have a better chance of motivating you because you're already motivated to do something. It's just a matter of, well, allow you to do what you want to do. There's several ways to motivate people. One way to motivate somebody is with money. Another way is with praise. Another way is with public recognition. You can also motivate people with more responsibility. And you can also motivate people with promotion. Warden, are you a division director this year? Yeah. Guess what? You did such a fantastic job last year. You got mo- promoted to division director after the election. So, very good job. Yes. Now, hey, let me ask you one more question. Did your predecessor tell you that being a division director is going to be easier than being an area director? Or did somebody named Robert tell you something like that?
Probably more Robert.
Yeah. Well, imagine the guy named Robert, he didn't lie to you. He just didn't tell you the whole thing that basically you become a super area director as a division director. So that means that you get to get to lead a team of highly motivated people, but you have to be able to back them up in case they fall short of meeting the goals that you set for them or that the higher people in the organization set for them. But hopefully, you're having fun being a division director, and maybe you might do it again in the future. So that's one way of motivating someone is, hey, you did a fantastic job. I'd like to see you move up in the ranks or redo area director again. She said, you have to be super motivated because you became the district sergeant at arms or logistic manager. Yeah, 'cause that's a challenging job. It's so challenging and interesting. In the past, there was a few people. For example, there was Willie Brown. He was the area director and a sergeant at arms person at the same time. But you know, how he got motivated. His wife.
Okay.
Oh, you know, she said, "Hey, I need for you to do this for me." Bam, 2 rows. So once again, you just need somebody who believes in you to motivate you, and you end up doing a lot more than what you expected to do. Now, here's one that's very interesting: the concept of money. Imagine this: I'm from South Carolina. I grew up in the country. I'm a poor little country boy. Now, imagine. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Like I like to say, y'all, I like my cornbread. I have no problems about snakes as long as they're far away from me. Here's the thing about being poor is that poor, the definition, well, one definition of it is the absence of money. The way you get motivated is if someone asks you to go work for them, well, I don't like to have no money in my pocket, so I think I better go work for this person, even if it's out on their farm. So there were several people who had their own land and they allowed me to work with them to learn a valuable skill. And what that is that either you're gonna work hard or you're gonna work smart. Standing out in that sun for a few hours, it's all right if you like heat. It's all right if you like exercise. But you combine heat and exercise together with no shade, you start learning something very quick. I think I better work hard in school and try not to have to do this for a living unless I own my own property like they do. Now, hopefully, that's part of the lesson they was trying to teach me. The other part would be like literally, hey, you help pick those field peas, he'll sell some, and you get to take some to eat, some for yourself. Great. Or you might load up a load of wood. Ah, you got a pickup truck, got to fill the truck up with wood. Now, if you don't do your job good, you learn something very interesting. That load of wood you're filling up is a load that your grandmother's had paid for, and all you have to do is help get it loaded up. So if you get shortchanged your boss, you shortchange your grandmother and yourself, because you literally need to use that to keep yourself warm. So once again, yeah, money motivated me somewhat. Didn't really get paid for it, but at least you got something that's the equivalent, good warm place to sit by in the cold. Now, raise your hand if you're a member of Toastmasters International. Yeah. Now, a few years ago, I used to be a division director under Philip Woody, and he said one of the most motivational things I ever heard a district leader say, and it was very interesting. And what it was is, that, hey, if I could pay you, I'll pay you $50,000 a year for being an area division director because that's a lot of work that you put into it. Now, well, we don't get paid inside of Toastmasters, but it's worth knowing that shoot, if I'm gonna get paid that type of money and you appreciate it that much, no problem. I'll serve out this whole year to the best of my ability, and sure enough, that's what I did. But it is worth knowing that there's a value associated with your time Because if time has a money equivalent, the amount of time you spend trying to be a leader in any organization is time you could have used just to sit down, watch TV, read a book, spend time with your family, or just do nothing, just kind of just sit there and like, just kind of like, I don't know, do nothing. Also, Toastmasters have another thing. You don't get paid with money, but you do get paid with public recognition. Douglas, let me ask you an interesting question. Did you get recognized for accomplishing 100 CCs yet so far?
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet.
Not by the district, but by my club president.
Yeah.
I got a watch fob that has Toastmasters emblem on one side and 100 cc's on the other side.
Oh man.
It's kind of nice.
Well, Douglas, I'd like to tell you congratulations again, because I know I verbally told you several times previously, but I'd like to recognize you one more time. That's quite a good accomplishment. And the reason why I mentioned is we was going to try to do a special guess the number of speeches Douglas did to earn his 100 cc's. Hmm. Raise your hand if you know how many speeches Douglas did to complete the 100 cc's. Correct.
Okay.
1,000. Yeah.
I did way more than that.
but we literally going to use that as a PR promotional item to come out to Palmetto Masterclass and like, hey, come out to our meeting and try to guess the number of CC's speeches that he did to earn the right of saying he completed 100 of them. So Keisha got it in a matter of seconds. So she must be a math major or engineer. Yeah.
I got some questions for her later. Let's see how much on math.
Now, one to several principles related to motivation. One principle is that people prefer rewards over punishment. Imagine you work hard and you do something, but what if when you get done doing it, instead of the person telling you thanks, they tell you, oh man, didn't quite do the job the way it could have been done. Or, what did you do? You did something, but it wasn't what I was expecting. Well, hey, that's interesting, but that can kind of dampen the person's motivation for volunteering or doing anything again in the future. Another thing that would be interesting, picture this. What if I give you a reward and you didn't actually do anything to get it? What if I gave you the special Delbity Lex gold plated DTM award? What that means, you get it for completing 5 DTMs and you haven't completed one, but I already give it to you before you even do one of them. Nope. So once you do that, that's going to demotivate them trying to get just one DTM. If I'm giving you a level 5 DTM and the person didn't really complete one. Now, how would you like to do meaningful work when you actually do stuff? Oh, yeah. I'm on my job. Some of the work I do is boring. That's the best way of putting it. But it pays the bills. But it pays the bills. So I have to go do it. But otherwise, if it wasn't for the fact you need to be awake to actually do your work, I'll probably be asleep. Another way to motivate people is to have your followers actually believe in you. Let's suppose I come up with a concept of we're gonna have a party, or at least a party type atmosphere, and I want you to come out to the event and make the party a lot more better. Now raise your hand if you know about the potential party event on next Saturday at Palmetto Mastercrafters. Oh yeah, that baby's gonna be sweet. Raise your hand if you like baklava.
Like what?
Oh, baklava is the Greek pastry. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, now I think I like it. Cause I was talking to my boss about it. I was, hey, what do you think about if I was to buy some baklava and give it out at the meeting here tonight? And I was just about to go buy it. One problem, I was running late coming over. And also, my wallet was running on E. I had gotten paid last week. You know? Another thing to help keep people motivated to work up under you is they would like for you to act like a leader, or at least be the best leader that you can be based on what your skills and abilities are. Now, take for example, if you got a person who's the leader, but they're usually always late, sometimes forget stuff. Sometimes, hey, they remember stuff, but it's a week later. They didn't forget it. They just remember it later than expected. Now, would you want to follow that person? Well, you might be a little bit reluctant. At least up front, you would be, and hopefully they'll let you know what the plan is weeks ahead of time. So even if they mess up, the thing can still succeed, even though the leader himself didn't quite do his part of it. Recently, I had started working on the motivational strategies pathways path. I started it, I guess, like about maybe 6 months ago. I was looking at, hey, that seems like it's going to be pretty good to work on. Because Jessica White was here, laid out the agenda. Like, well, here's the next 12 months. Everybody choose a slot of when you want to give a speech on it. I was looking at the calendar. I saw the number 1212. I said, man, that number is made for me, baby. Because, it has a good balancing look to it. It's the day before Friday the 13th. It gives me 6 to 8 weeks plus a few more months to get ready for the speech. I was like, right on. Very good. That motivated me to volunteer to do my speech about the motivation strategies. It gave me enough time to actually complete that path. And guess what? If things were just a little bit different, if I had 2 more weeks, I would be completed with it now. It's only just about 2 items away from actually completing the path. The one thing I have to do is I did the first of 3 parts. Yesterday I gave a speech. I told them about an event that I'm going to do, in which it's going to be a super duper tabletop event, in which we're going to have a way for the new members and hopefully the old members to break the ice and get to know one another. One part of it may be we grab some yarn or shoestring and we're going to wrap it around your finger. We're going to give you a table topics. And basically, you got until you unwrap it to be done with whatever you're going to say. So essentially, imagine if you're a person who can unwrap your finger real fast, you might be able to get down your table topics in 30 seconds. If you're a person who is a slow unwrapper, well, hey, it might take you 10 minutes to unwrap a 2 foot long shoestring around your finger. Now, then you got the people who are smart and cheaters. Now, yeah, what they're going to do is something very interesting. They're going to start unwrapping it fast, and then they're going to realize, hey, man, I can't complete my complete thought in the time it's going to take me to get done unwrapping the yard from off my finger. So what they're going to do is maybe stop right before they get done unwrapping all the way, finish what they're talking about, and still meet the requirements of the rules. That's not cheating. That's actually paying attention to what the rules are. Now, don't tell anybody I told y'all that, but technically you can do it because you're still within the rules. Another thing, I'll just give you a heads up. I don't know which club I'm going to do it in yet because I have to work with the VPs of the different clubs. Unfortunately, I'm a VP in 3 clubs, but I can't go use up the slots that hard for myself. I want other people to be motivated to actually work on their pathway projects. That's the other thing about it. You have to be willing to give credit and opportunities to other people. Tonight, I want to share with you some things about me, myself, and I, not the trifecta of myself, Because I have multiple ways of looking at things, and each one of those different nouns represents a different facet of a mindset. And I just want to let you know that I try to stay motivated. That's why you see me in multiple clubs and serving in multiple officer roles. The next thing I'm working on is trying to get more people to actually join so I can cut back on the number of officer roles. So that gives me a lot of motivation to try to do that. But something I'm realizing that's very interesting in my Millennium Toastmasters Club, it seems as though we have a better chance of getting people to say they want to join when we only got like one or two of the actual club members at the meeting. That gives the club members more time to talk to the guests and tell them about the program. When we have the full complement, you spend so much time on the meeting, you may not give the guests everything they need to say, hey, I want to join your club as opposed to another. They join a club somewhere, but it just may not be ours. And if I want to become a person who has fewer officer duties, may have to use that technique of getting more members to actually join and go, yeah, thank you for joining. Please become a club officer.
Thank you.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I know. Yeah, thank you, Douglas.
Maybe how they no, not yet. Yes. You give up too easy. Our speaker spoke for 21 minutes.
I don't think we'll take a break. Does anyone need to run to the restroom or anything? I think we'll, or can we just press on since we've already pressed on? We're now going to have an interactive discussion where we edify our speaker, Dr. Bachman. So come
Yeah. Laverne, thank you very much for the introduction. Let's see. I think the questions I want to do will be very simple. Um,
I'm gonna do this, green light at 10, a yellow light at 12, and a red light at 15. I'll time individual speakers on the clock.
all right. Douglas, thank you very much. Um, let's see. Right now, we have reached the halfway point in the Toastmasters year, and some people are starting to lose steam as far as staying motivated and working towards their projects or their goals for the year. My question is, what suggestions do you have that you could tell someone of how they can stay motivated to keep pushing for it so they can complete the goals before the end of the year?
Repeat that question?
Oh, like right now we're at the halfway point, basically almost 6 months into the Toastmasters year. And if you notice, there's a lot of people who kind of running out of steam. It's only halfway, and they're starting to slow down and kind of losing their energy as far as coming out to the meetings or accomplishing their goals inside of the clubs. Sure, it's only 6 months, but we still got 6 more months to go. What suggestions, if any, do you have that you can tell someone to help motivate them to try to work harder for the second half of the year or try to re-energize themselves before the year is over?
Okay, I'll take that was a speech in the introduction. Thank you, Robert. Interesting question that you have asked because that's exactly what I'm going to be doing with one of my clubs because they have completely run out of steam to the point that they don't even do the agendas now.
Oh,
So I'm actually going to be meeting with the president, and I didn't want to tell him that our club meeting was so egregiously not completed because we had no one on the agenda. But I said, how do I say it in a more efficient and effective way? And I said, one of the things that I was going to do is say, we as a club have 6 more months. We've learned what didn't work. Now we have 6 more months to kind of have a clean slate and really push forward. So that it's not what we didn't do, but what we still have to look forward to. And so all the things that we were going to do, what we wanted to do, what we couldn't, all the people we wanted to have, put that in the past. We actually have an opportunity to do exactly what we want. We have 6 months to turn this club around so that it is exactly what we said it was going to be, but it takes a plan. I love it when a plan comes together. It takes a plan. So let's sit down and start planning. Mr. Tabletop.
Yeah. Damn it. As you can tell, I love that statement also because that's why you see me with a lot of paper. I sit down, have a calendar, draw on it, cross out dates, work out plans and permutations about what I could potentially do. And then I maybe look at the DCP report and see, well, hey, now as a VP, what can the club potentially do? Because in 2 months, we're going to have that interesting meeting with the area director and hopefully not the division director. Don't mean anything by that water, but I'm just saying that, hey, that's, because we're going to get to the point where we're going to start doing the calculations about what we're going to do to try to be ready for April. April is 2 months before the end of the year, but that's an interesting goal that many clubs set for themselves. Ah. This is an interesting question. Is it better to make plans to get stuff done early as opposed to getting stuff done later or right on schedule? In so much as in Toastmasters, I've ran into at least 2 to 3 clubs that already said, hey, we want to be 10 for 10 by April 30th. Not May 30th, not June 30th, by April 30th. So that way they have plenty of time to hopefully get things done. If you don't make the plan, you still got other time. I guess my question is, can you tell me if you know of any clubs that are Douglas?
Thank you, Robert. I love it when a plan comes together. As you all know, my home club, even though I live in Sumter, my home club is Saturday AM Toastmasters. And when they changed the new Distinguished Club program back in 2000, we became a President's Distinguished Club that first year. And we only had 9 of the goals met that first year. And we made a commitment from that point forward, we would never have fewer than 10 goals. And we always strove to get those 10 goals at least by the end of June. And then we said, we don't get bragging rights if we do that. I mean, by that time everybody's forgotten about it because everybody's closing in on that. But if you get it before the conference, well, then you got a chance to stand up and be recognized at the conference. So we now had a new goal that we have 10 for 10 yet again by the end of March, so that we would have those in time for the conference. And you've got to have it by the end of March because our conference was usually in April, and you have to have time for them to tally all that stuff, get it printed in the book, all that stuff. Well, this year I am happy to say it will be our 21st year of being a President's Distinguished, the 20th consecutive year as 10 for 10, and we have already, as of 1 December, finished 9 of our goals. The only goal we have yet to accomplish is to show up for TLI, which is everybody's got that one. So even if everybody else had 9 goals met, they'd have to wait until TLI to get that last check mark. So that's a really nice position to be in. If you've ever been ahead of schedule on your day, it's wonderful and it's so relieving to have all your ducks in a row and your goals met prior to the deadline you set. and have a very simple thing like, all we gotta do is have 4 people show up. Of course, we expect more than that because we expect all 7 of our officers. In fact, we pay for our officers to go to the training so that we will be sure they get there. And then, of course, we want other members to go as well. And we usually have 10 or 15 members at PLI, even though we've only got 7 club officers. So, and most of my other clubs do that as well. My Sumter Club has good attendance at that as well. And both Sumter and Shaw were 10 for 10 last year as well. So I was very pleased. Now this year I'm the president of 2 clubs which are failing. And so I got to figure that one out. One club's doing me great. Put a plan together.
Douglas, thank you very much for that response. Let's see. If you notice, both Deanna's response and Douglas's response, both of them fill up under, like, Deanna's response fill up more up under, you want the leaders to act like leaders, so you want the club leaders to come up with a plan so you can lead the club to success. And then with Douglas, his concept will be based on more of trying to get positive public recognition and praise for the club, because that's a very good accomplishment of trying to get your 10 goals accomplished way ahead of time. And I guess this is my final thing that I want to say, and it's kind of be a play on words. Y'all ever heard of something called ducats? Remember like Doug said, the concept about getting your ducks in a row? Yeah, so if you got your ducks walking on the road, yeah, there's something special about it. If ducats is relating to money, there's districts incentives to reach your goals as early as possible so you can actually get free virtual money, if you will, for your club. And that's another incentive of why you like for your club to get its stuff, to get its goals accomplished as soon as possible. Because if you get free money, for example, like with us, if there's a chance that we could get some free money, that will help out greatly since we don't take in dues. And if you're a club that does take in dues, hey, free money still doesn't hurt. As long as you don't have to pay taxes on it. Madam Toastmaster. Yep.
Okay, Robert, we still have some time. That's our 10-minute mark. I have a question for you. In your presentation, you said there were 7 for motivating others. What were they?
I have to go home and write them down and get them to
Couldn't
you.
you have it on your notes?
I got 6.
I wrote down 4 of them. And I was trying to figure out the
I
other
got
6.
6.
Praise, money, responsibility, and promotion is all that I
I got praise and promotion. What else you got?
Public
I got time,
recognition
public recognition, reward or
and
punishment.
more responsibility.
Recognition and
And give out rewards that are earned, that are justified positive rewards. Like so, if someone
I missed the 7.
don't just give out awards to people that have no meaning.
That would be public recognition.
See, I have praise, money, responsibility.
You said money?
Yes.
Yes, and money. That was earlier.
Yeah, because
Praise, money,
public recognition.
Responsibility, promotion, public recognition.
Time.
What's the time?
Like pressure.
Oh, time.
Like time can
constraint.
motivate people because
Okay.
you, and when we kind of talked about that, right? Time constraint or that's what I had. I don't know. I was just writing it down. I didn't know that he said 7.
Okay.
I didn't get 7 either.
That's what. Oh, Douglas said that.
Nah, I think no. No.
The official time
Okay, we had, Diana had 1:35, Douglas had 2 minutes and 22 seconds, and Robert had an indeterminate amount of time babbling at the end there. He had a total of 13 minutes for that session. Diana, the reason you were having problems, somehow this thing got stuck on a 30-second countdown. When you pushed the button, it would count 29, 28, 27.
I couldn't get it back to the 0, 0.
I finally got it back to 0, but you have to dial turns, and that changes modes.
Oh.
Yeah, it's messed up, man.
Okay, that's why I was like, okay, look, he ain't waiting for me to figure this out. Let me go. Let me time it.
Did you give this to Danny?
Oh, we're just still rolling, actually. You got all that on video.